Evening,
Good evening.
everyone. Today is a very special day. Yesterday we talked about chakras. You remember we had a little quiz. No, I'm sorry, on Monday. And today, when I was speaking to this wonderful lady, not today, last week, and she told me that, do you know that we have 12 spiritual chakras? Believe me, I didn't. I didn't know that, or I wasn't aware of it. For me, it has been just the body. So in the body, we have the 7 major chakras and the 250 minor chakras that we all study, get to know better, and how to analyze it better. But when she talked about the 12 spiritual chakras, it was so exciting for me. So I knew it would be equally exciting for all of you. And the best thing is that she uses radical affirmations to help you master the chakras. We all know that we have been shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. This is known across. But what about these 12 spiritual chakras? What better person to tell us than the expert herself? And that is Juthika Dcruz, who joins us now. Welcome, Juthika. And let me tell you a little bit about her. Juthika has been associated with Redikall since 2012. She is an inspirational spiritual teacher. She is an expert therapist in hypnotherapy, transpersonal regression, and psychotherapy. She's also a practitioner of various Reiki modalities. She's a master teacher for magnified healing and an angel therapy teacher. Juthika is also a Transform You life coach from the Diana Cooper School of Light from UK. She worked in the corporate sector and then took a sabbatical to be a homemaker and a mother. She recharged herself and after age 40, acquired many qualifications in a number of alternate healing modalities. And in all this, Redikall for her is not just a modality, but a way of life. With her today, we are learning to align our 5D chakras with Redikall affirmations. Today, she'll be helping us energize our fifth dimensional 12 spiritual chakras through those Redikall affirmations. Thank you so much, Juthika, for joining us. The stage is all yours now.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Happy to be here. And thank you so much for inviting me and sharing about the 12 chakras. Yeah, I've been working with the 12 chakras for the last 8 to 9 years now. We learned about it in angel therapy. And then later on, I learned about it a little more in magnified healing as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful modality to balance all your 12 spiritual chakras because that shifts a lot in your space. Things that are stuck can move forward. Maybe like things, situations don't change, but our personal vibrations change to a very, very large extent. And that helps us overcome all the obstacles that we may be facing in life, in relationships, in career, or like, in any part of our life. So yeah, I'm happy and excited to share about the 12 chakras with you. To begin with, let me tell you about the 3D and the fifth dimensional ascension. So all of us are aware that in 2012, there was this major upheaval that came across, all of us came across, which said that the world is coming to an end, isn't it? So we were all like, everybody was scared. The people who are like of very old school thoughts, they were absolutely petrified. Like, okay, this is the end. And like, we are all going to like, just die and get, the earth is going to get finished. So the truth in the whole matter was like, according to Mayan calendar, it wasn't the end of the world, but it was the end of an era. Okay, so something like what we call moving from one yug to another yug, like Kal Yug, Sat Yug, Treta Yug. So the whole Kal Yug period was apparently coming to an end. And the Sat Yug period will soon be starting in a few years' time in 2032. So the earth has already started moving to this higher vibrational frequency of the next era, which is the 5-dimensional existence. At the present moment, we are living in the 3rd dimensional existence, where we are very material based. We live a very material based life. So when we move from the 3D existence to the 5-dimensional living, we move from the head space to the heart space. So it is more of a like, holistic kind of living from the heart space instead of just living on the material plane. So raising our vibrations is all about raising our consciousness, right? So 3D consciousness, and we move on to the 4D consciousness, which is the transition phase in which the earth is presently moving. And 2032 is when the 5D, 5th-dimensional vibrations will come into full form. But it's not like that, like overnight something will change. Okay, so the Kal Yuga has been like in existence for centuries and centuries, isn't it? So for the change to happen is also going to take a couple of centuries. So 2032 is going to be the beginning of it. And with COVID happening, the earth has already purged itself and moved to a higher consciousness, to a higher dimension. And it is calling out to humanity also to move forward with it. Remember, we were all called to just stay at home, respect nature, connect with our own people, have a loving kind of existence, not be too materialistic. We were all deprived of all the material things that were outside the 4 walls of our house. So that was a whole big calling from the universe to humanity to bring about a change in the attitude. Well, some of us learn, some of us don't. And some of us, like you and me, help humanity to transition from 3D to 4D and then so on to 5th dimensional consciousness. So there are 12 chakras, spiritual chakras, which are operational when we operate from the 5D consciousness. We already know about the 7 chakras which are there, right? In addition to that, there is a chakra which is there at it is 6 inches below our feet into the ground, and it is called the Earth Star chakra. I'm just talking about the additional chakras. I'm sure you all know about the 7 chakras. If anybody is unaware of the others or the main 7 chakras that we have learned about, please do raise your hands. I'll be happy to cover those also. If not, then I'll just tell you about the additional chakras which make up the 12 chakras. Okay. So yeah, the Earth Star chakra is an additional chakra which is 6 inches below our feet into the ground. So it is like a triangle. See, 2 feet of us, and then from here it goes down 6 inches to the Earth Star, and then it comes up again to this feet. And that's how we are connected to the Earth Star chakra. It is a chakra which holds the blueprint of our life. Okay. And of course, then we move on to the next chakra, which is the base chakra, the root chakra. Then again, higher up, we come to the sacral chakra, which we all know about. In 12 chakra system, the sacral chakra gets divided into two, the sacral and the navel chakra. So the navel chakra, as we all know, is all about the unknown, connecting to the universe where everything is like, contained in the cosmic womb. So that's the importance of the navel chakra in the 5D consciousness or in the 12 chakra system. Higher up, then there is the solar plexus chakra. And then we move on to the heart chakra. And then the throat chakra, the third eye chakra. And then here, here somewhere little behind over here, is the causal chakra of the 12 chakra system. The causal chakra is like the antenna which receives transmission from the higher realms and guides us on our path in this lifetime. So that's the causal chakra. Higher up above that, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the crown chakra. And here's the crown chakra of the 7 chakras. And here it is here's the causal chakra. And then above the solar plexus, what am I saying? Above the crown chakra, 6 inches above it, is the soul star chakra of the 12 chakra system. So as the name suggests, it's connecting to our soul, the soul star chakra. Higher up above that is the stellar gateway chakra. 6 inches above the soul star is the stellar gateway chakra. It is a huge opening which receives all the transmission of God energy through the, we receive it through the stellar gateway chakra. So as the name suggests, stellar gateway. So it's a gateway open to heaven. Got it? So these are the additional chakras of the 5th dimension, 5D consciousness, or the 12 chakra system, spiritual chakras. Any questions so far? Are you with me? All of you? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a thumbs up or like, say something in the chat so I know that like, yeah. Okay. So we are going to now use radical affirmations to enhance and activate and empower these 12 chakras one by one. Okay. So I will be reciting the R5 statements along with the quality of that particular chakra. Okay. So are we ready to begin? Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Will you say the names of the chakra in the end? Yeah, sure. I will. Okay. Even when we are doing these affirmations for each chakra, I'll be mentioning the name, I'll be mentioning the color, and I'll be mentioning the quality of it. All right. So each chakra also has a particular angel which is in charge of the chakra. So we normally do, when I'm doing the chakra healing or the chakra meditation, the 12 chakra meditation, we call upon that angel to help us activate, integrate, and energize this chakra on each one of those 12 chakras. All right. So are we ready to begin the affirmations? Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and exhale slowly. Breathe in again. And as you exhale, allow all external thoughts, anxieties, worries to be put aside and allow yourself to be in the here and now. Breathe in once more, nice and deep, and then exhale. We now call upon Archangel Sandalphon, and we ask him to help us open, activate, integrate, and energize our soul star chakra. Our earth star chakra. Take your attention to 6 inches below the ground, below your feet. You will find a wonderful ball of black and white rotating and pulsating over there. We repeat the radical statements. We are 5 and integrate our spirit into the matter. Repeat after me. We are 5 and integrate our spirit into matter. I are 5 and integrate my spirit into matter. I are 5 and integrate my spirit into matter. Feel yourself energized and becoming deeply grounded with each affirmation that you repeat to yourself. Take a deep breath and allow this energy to settle in. Now take your attention to the base of your spine. You'll find a beautiful platinum ball of energy there, pulsating, vibrating. We ask Archangel Gabriel to come and help us open, activate, integrate, and energize this ball of energy. And we further activate it and energize it with radical statements. I artify my foundation and my basic survival needs. I artify my foundation and my basic survival needs. I artify my foundation and my basic survival needs. I artify my foundations and my basic survival needs. I artify my foundations and my basic survival needs. I artify my foundations and my basic survival needs. Take a deep breath and affirm. I admit my base chakra to the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my base chakra to the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my base chakra to the loving care of radical consciousness. Take a deep breath and take your attention now to 4 inches below your navel. You will see a delicate pink ball of energy there. And we once again call Archangel Gabriel to help us open, activate, integrate, and energize this beautiful sacral chakra, which is pink in color. Repeat the R5 statements. I R5 love with tenderness. I arfai 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 love with tenderness. Take a deep breath and affirm, I admit my delicate, loving, tender feelings under the care of radical consciousness. I admit my loving, tender feelings under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my delicate, tender feelings under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe in to energize this chakra before we move to the next one. Just below the navel, you will find an orange ball of energy. Take your attention to it. This is your navel chakra of the 12 chakra system. We call Archangel Gabriel to help us open, activate, integrate, and energize our navel chakra. Further energizing it with radical statements. I arfai my sensuality and sociability. 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 Breathe into this chakra and further affirm, I admit my sensuality and sociability under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my sensuality and sociability under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my sensuality and sociability under the loving care of radical consciousness. Take a deep breath to settle in this chakra. And with the next breath, breathe into your solar plexus chakra, where a golden ball of energy with rainbow lights is rotating and pulsating right in the middle of your abdominal area, your solar plexus. We call Archangel Uriel to help us open, activate, integrate, and energize our solar plexus chakra of the 12 chakra system. We further energize it with radical statements. I arfai my inner wisdom and knowledge. 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 Take a deep breath into this chakra and further affirm it with I admit my inner wisdom and knowledge under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my inner wisdom and knowledge under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my inner wisdom and knowledge under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe in to settle down this chakra. And now breathe into your heart, where a pure white ball of energy is pulsating at your heart center. We call Archangel Shamwell to open, activate, integrate, and energize our 12th chakra heart center. We further affirm and energize it with radical statements. I R5 unconditional love and compassion. 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 Breathe into your heart. See the beautiful white ball of energy blooming, becoming bigger, pulsating high, wider, like boom, 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 pulsating with 5D consciousness energy. Breathe into it, feel the love, and further affirm it with, I admit my unconditional love and compassion to the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my unconditional love and compassion to the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my unconditional love and compassion to the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe into the heart to settle it down. And now take your attention through your throat chakra. A beautiful royal blue ball of energy is rotating, pulsating, vibrating in your throat chakra, waiting to express and speak your truth. We call Archangel Michael to help us open, activate, integrate, and energize our 12th chakra system, throat center. I R5, clear communication and being a creator with the source. I R5, clear communication and being a co-creator with the source. I R5, my clear communication and being a co-creator with the source. I R5, my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source. I R5, my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source. I R5, my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source. Breathe into your throat. Feel its energy of this beautiful blue ball of energy. And further affirm it with, I admit my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my ability for clear communication and being a co-creator with the source under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe into this chakra, allow it to settle down. And now, breathe into your third eye. Take your attention there to a crystalline ball of energy of the 12 chakra system. We call Archangel Raphael to open, activate, integrate, and energize this fifth dimensional third eye chakra. IR5, my divine intuition and wisdom. IR5, my ability for divine intuition and wisdom. IR5, my ability for intuition and divine 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 wisdom. Breathe into this chakra. See the crystalline ball of energy at the third eye center, rotating, pulsating, shining brightly, shimmering, beautiful, crystalline energy. Breathe into it and further affirm, I admit my own intuition and divine wisdom under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my own intuition and divine wisdom under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my own intuition and divine wisdom under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe in to settle this chakra. And now we breathe into the higher chakras. Right on the top of your head, you'll find your crown chakra, which is again a crystalline ball of energy. We ask Archangel Jophiel to open, activate, integrate, and energize this beautiful crystalline ball of energy. As you breathe into it and it begins to activate, you will see it opening petal by petal, all the 1,000 petals opening up. Beautiful crystalline crown, lotus at the top of your head. Let's affirm, I arify and accept light from my soul. 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 Breathe in. Allow the crystalline ball to open, bloom into the 1,000 petals. See it shimmering, shining, glowing, receiving the light from the higher source, from the divine source. Further affirm it. As I accept my light, I admit this light from my soul under the loving care of radical consciousness. As I accept this light, I admit this light from my soul under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit this light from my soul under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe in. Allow this crystalline ball, this beautiful lotus that has blossomed, to contain itself to the degree that is comfortable for you. And now breathe in into your causal chakra, which is 3 to 4 inches behind the center of the back of your head. It's a pure white ball of energy. Breathe into it, your causal chakra. We call Archangel Christiel to open, activate, integrate, and energize our causal chakra so that we are able to receive stellar transmissions into our mind from the higher realms. I R5 my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind. I R5 my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind. I R5 my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind. I R5 my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind. I R5 my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind. Breathe into this white ball of energy. Allow it to process the receiving of stellar transmissions into its aura, into its energy. Breathe into it. See it shining and shimmering, white, pure white in color. Further affirm it with, I admit my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind under the loving care of radical consciousness. I admit my awareness of receiving stellar transmissions into my mind under the loving care of radical consciousness. Breathe into it, allow it to settle down. And now breathe into your soul star chakra, which is 6 inches above the top of your head. It's a magenta ball of energy, rotating, pulsating. We ask Archangel Mariel to open, activate, integrate, and energize our soul star chakra. And we further affirm, I feel, I R5 my feel of my spiritual essence. 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 Breathe into this magenta ball of energy. Allow it to settle down. And now take your attention 6 inches above the soul star and 12 inches above the top of your head. You'll see a gold ball of energy there. A beautiful, huge gold ball of energy. It holds your oneness with everything and connection with the source, and is your gateway to the higher realms, higher intuition, higher wisdom, higher love, higher knowledge, and everything that is of the fifth dimensional consciousness. We ask Archangel Metatron to open, activate, integrate, and energize our stellar gateway chakras. Breathe into it, allowing to receive, open, and reach out to the higher realms. I arify my oneness with everything and my connection with the source. I arify my oneness with everything and my connection with the source. I arify my oneness with everything and my connection with the source. I arify my oneness with everything and my connection with the source. Breathe into this gold ball of energy. Feel the connection with the higher realms. See the gateway opening, going up higher, higher, higher. Allowing you to reach up to higher love, higher wisdom, higher intuition, higher knowledge, higher oneness. And all the wonderful qualities of the 5D consciousness, of heart consciousness. Further affirm it with just breathe into it. Just breathe into it. Keep breathing into it. Feel the connection. Accept the download. Slowly start bringing your awareness back to your room, back to your body. Feel your surroundings, hear the sounds in your surroundings. Feel the seat that you're seated on. Put your feet on the ground. Allow yourself to be grounded. Stamp your feet on the ground. Come back, come back, come back to the body. Come back to the body. Breathe into it. Feel the air going in and out of the nostrils. Stretch your arms, stretch your back, twist your toes, your ankles. Rotate your neck a little bit. Breathe. Breathe. And as and when you're comfortable, slowly open your eyes.
Thank you, Juthika. That was absolutely brilliant. I think we all know about the 7 major chakras that we experience, but combining it with the other 5 chakras that we were not aware of, it made it an even more, literally a spiritual experience. So thank you very much for it. Thank you. And I'm sure.
With you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share it with you.
Of course, it was very important. And for everyone here, please know that this recording will be available tomorrow onwards on YouTube. So you can always refer to it and go back to it. Plus, we will be posting it in the Circle of Peaceful Progress group. So don't feel that you cannot do it again. It's there for us, thanks to Juthika, and we can use it anytime we want, right? Now, if anybody has any questions, please raise your hands and we will have them answered one by one. If anybody has any questions. Yes, Apurva.
Ma'am, it was a wonderful experience. Ma'am,
Thank
I want to know that we are in a 3D dimensional world. So our experiences are 3D dimensional. So how do we know that we are making this shift? Like in ourselves, how do we know individually we are moving towards the 5D, and how do we know that we have made that transition or we are still in the process?
The very fact that you are here, okay, to experience higher spiritual or gain higher spiritual experience, that itself tells that you are in the 4D phase. Okay, the fourth dimension. You wouldn't be here if you were living in the hardcore 3D world, because that world is very competitive. But I would like to speak for everybody over here. I'm sure all of us have moved from being competitive to being more collaborative. We don't do things just for ourselves, but we do it for the community. We do it for sharing with others. We are interested in moving, gaining more knowledge, whatever has been so far. We have seen how devastating all those systems have been, and we are now trying to create a different system. We are believing in things which are scientific as well as spiritual. Earlier, they were all believing only in science, but now we are combining science and spiritual and understanding that the two are not very different. If you see the Vedas and the Upanishads and everything, you will see that it is everything, all rituals given over there are very scientific. All our Rishi Munis and all the levitation that they did, all the yagnas that they did, the samadhis that they did, it was all very scientific. So we are trying to connect with that system which was forgotten. So when you have this quest for higher knowledge, when you have this need to move from the existing matrix to something more, don't we say there has to be more to life? There has to be more to life. That's when we know that, yes, we are shifting, we are moving to higher consciousness. Okay. I hope that answered your question. Thank you.
Yeah, that is what quantum physics talks about. And what she said about science and spirituality merging now, this is being, on a basis of wanting proofs for everything. That is what science wants.
Yeah.
And that is what quantum physics is doing. So it is fantastic.
Absolutely.
So yes. And yes. So we had someone in the chat write, I saw a horse at my back head chakra. This is Suruchitapur.
Okay, that could be your unicorn, sweetheart. That could be a unicorn, because as we are moving to the 5D consciousness, there are a lot of higher beings that are coming into play to help humanity to make this shift to the 5th dimensional consciousness. So there are dragons, there are angels, archangels, there are dragons, there are unicorns. And each one of us, you might be knowing, everybody has their personal guardian angels, right? So similarly, you have a personal unicorn as well as a personal dragon as well. So what you saw could very well be your personal unicorn. They come from much, much higher dimensions. I think the 12th dimension. Yeah, they come from the 12th dimension. And they're very pure love energy. Pure love energy.
So somebody writes, I saw one lady like queen with wings on her head.
Okay. So
where did she see it?
Any?
Yeah. Which chakra was it, Vaishali? If you can just talk, that will be fine, Vaishali.
Yeah, Vaishali, you're there?
At Earth Star, she writes.
Earth Star. Okay. So maybe your guardian angel came in to help you were you feeling a little ungrounded when we started this whole process? Vaishali? If you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah. Basically, for a full day, I was feeling that ungroundedness.
Okay.
And when I started with this, when you started with the meditation at the time of the Star Chakra, I saw that lady.
Okay. So yeah. So the very fact that you were feeling ungrounded, that is your existence, right? But from your heart, you wanted to be in this space and you wanted to make that transition, right?
Okay.
So when we are having this pure intention of wanting to make this shift from, you know how Shah Rukh Khan says, anything that you want, dil se, sari kainat jud jati hai, like,
Yes.
to make it happen.
Correct.
So yeah, so the angels come and they help you. So it could very well be an archangel. Remember, I called upon each chakra's archangel.
Yeah.
It was Archangel Sangal, who probably came in, or it could also be your personal guardian angel.
Okay.
Like, who are there to help you to become grounded and be with the process, become one with the process.
Correct. Thank you.
Many times at a physical level, we are unable to keep up with the changing energies. That's why these, like I said, these higher beings, unicorns, dragons, angels, archangels, they're all coming to help us. So there you go.
Yeah, thank you.
So as we see, in whatever form of healing there is or therapy there is, whether it is shamanism, where you have your personal animal, or where what she has done just now with angels. So you have your unicorns, dragons, and angels guarding you. And of course, Redikall with its consciousness, the supreme consciousness, helping us move forward in life. It's a brilliant world. So it does make life easy, effortless, and fun, doesn't it?
It does.
Let's all believe in that, right? So thank you so much, Juthika, for being with us today.
My pleasure.
And
thank you.
Also, as I always repeat, the group will be opened, the Circle of Peaceful Progress. Please do leave your comments or your suggestions and your feedback for today's session. That helps us to make future sessions equally more interesting for you. All right? So thank you very much. Have a good evening. See you again tomorrow, Thursday, with the meditation of Uma. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Aarti. And thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.